Open with sincerity. That is the topic for discussion. Open with sincerity. Sri Aurobindo calls us with this opening phrase, open us with sincerity. That means to open integrally and without reservation. Who sometimes, normally the common sensed people who are living in the ordinary sphere of consciousness, ordinary level, they don't have the idea how to open. It is at all to open. Is it necessary to open? What is the purpose of opening? What is the benefit? Never they never know. But thing is that people who are semi-conscious people, semi-conscious I am telling because 100% conscious, I don't know how many, very few people will be there, counted few. You can count them, their number. But semi-conscious people, they are little bit aware of the opening. They feel, or to open to some extent, they feel I should open, or initially to some extent they are open. But integral opening, that is for the higher conscious people, very limited, very few in number. So open with sincerity when this phrase, this call is coming and reaching our sense organ like ear. That means open integrally and without reservation. Without reservation, I must open to this force, and on the contrary, I will be open to that. On the other, don't imagine that one side you are opening to the divine force, and on the another side you are opening yourself to the hostile forces. Then it is a mixture. With this mixture, how you will be in a position to proceed in your life? Very difficult, very tough, not at all possible. It is an impossible concept rather. Just think. इसको I must try to give you the idea that if you wish to install there the living presence, keep the temple clean. It must be clean without any mixture. So, unreserved surrender, sincere opening, these are the preconditions, absolute requirement for the sadhaka to do this yoga, so far this yogic persuasion is concerned. आपको जाना ही होगा तो not to give one part of the already I have told you one part of you not to the divine working and keep back the rest, not to make the make this one part you are offering to the divine forces for his work, and the second part you are keeping in a reserve. That must not happen. Very difficult, very tough. So, Sri Aurobindo puts it, not to make a partial offering. That is what? Partial offering. Okay, so to some extent I have given. So, Sri Aurobindo, mother quotes, some people they have given, they have offering through work, some other through bhakti, some other they offer money, some other they try to partially give themselves, but integral offering, that is a absolute and necessary concept. Integrally you give yourself, give completely without reservation, without any clumsiness or without any hesitation. Give yourself completely. That is what the requirement, that is what the demand, that is what the requirement here. So keep for yourself the other moments of your nature, 50% or some percent you are offering to the divine. Of course, because I have already told you the categories of people living in ordinary consciousness, people semi-conscious, people to some extent in a higher consciousness. So these people, what the intermediary in the 50% or something in between what they do, normally offer something to the divine and the rest part of the things they reserve for something else. That must not happen. All must be opened wide, not only opened wide. That wideness must be there with its intensity to hold back any of the part of you or to keep the sort to the divine. Never expect that way. For that actually Sri Aurobindo has used open wide. Opening is there to some extent you have got. Without opening you are not here, and your since births, since lives, since centuries and millenniums, if you keep waiting there. But thing is that keep it short to the divine, you are shutting it far part, few gates are open to the divine and few gates are reserved. Maybe for you, for your selfish motive, or for your friends, or to the hostile forces. Then this grace will be the, flow, inflow of the grace will be also be partial, not full. That is what the problem with us. Open with faithfulness. That is what. Without faith, this yoga cannot be utterly done. For it is the significance of the opening, open with faithfulness. That is what. That means to be open. That another. Initially, we have seen open with sincerity. Now it is Sri Aurobindo's call open with faithfulness. That means to be open constantly and always. To be open. Open is there. Some extent. This is my will. I feel there is some compulsion or some inspiration will be from me, but actually to some extent I have opened at a certain point of time. But thing is that that opening must be constantly and always, not to open one day and withdraw in the very next day. So it must be, the opening must be constant and integral, constant and always, ceaselessly, restlessly, and wholeheartedly. That must be there. You must keep considering this thing. Again, Mother Sri Aurobindo puts forward in a beautiful message. The house of the divine is not closed. You find to be closed because we have not tried to open it. We have not interested. We are not interested to see is in our own vision. People have said such, they have written such. That's what I am only reading. Even most of the people, they are not interested to read. At least you are reading. So house of the divine is not closed to any who knock sincerely at its gates. Suppose you have gone, suppose some people have seen who knock constantly, sincerely. If they knock the divine's gate sincerely, definitely for them it will be never closed, in a never closed position. Whatever their past stumbles and errors, you forget about their past stumbling and errors. That is not your headache to analyze. But if you are sincere and sincerely knocking at the divine door, which seems to be shut, definitely it will not be shut for you permanently. It has to open. There is no other way. Then, Sri Aurobindo quotes, a greater power is sincerity. The greatest of all is grace. Sincerity. With sincerity, you can be pushed up. You can reach there. You can knock at. You can open also. But thing is that the greatest one is the grace. And for this grace, that sincerity is, many things are required. One is sincerity. Again, if you have only to be perfectly sincere, in many ways you see another phrase, perfectly sincere, and aspire for the purification. Perfectly sincere and aspire for the purification. Then simultaneously what you have to do, reject whatever wrong in you. If anything at all is wrong in you, try to throw it out. The divine force will then act and do the rest. If you are sincere, in perfectly sincere, and you have got the aspiration for purification, and simultaneously you reject whatever wrong in you, then you will find the great result. Something great will be seen, visible in your naked works. That is what you can see. That is simply the true way. You can find the divine force will act and change the rest, do the rest. That is what. For that, actually, you must be perfectly sincere. And Sri Aurobindo, again, another phrase you are getting, entirely sincere, perfectly sincere. You have seen open with sincerity, open with faithfulness. So many ways you have heard big terms here. Entirely sincere means to desire the divine truth, nothing. Desire is not a good term because desire is the sole cause of suffering. The कामना के विनाश में दुख का विनाश, ये ठीक है. But actually, you must have the desire for the 100%. Entirely sincere means desire for the divine truth only. To surrender yourself more and more to the Divine Mother. First, you have to be entirely sincere for the divine truth. Second, surrender to the Divine Mother, wholehearted and integral. Third, to reject the personal demand and the desire other than only one aspiration Only whatever desires are coming must be turned towards the divine. And you must have the strong aspiration to offer one action in life to the divine. And do it as the work given without bringing the ego. You must be devoid of ego. Ego must perish. There is no other go. This is the basic of divine life. So this is the basic for divine life. What you have to do? Entirely sincere. Desire divine truth only. Surrender more and more to the divine mother. Then you can find reject the personal demand and desire. And finally, other not the reject not the aspiration, and you can find another in action to the every action in life must be offered to the divine, and do the work without bringing ego. That is the condition, that is the requirement basis of the divine life. Again Sri Aurobindo goes forward and writes one line, beautiful line: the divine gives the fruit not by the measure of your sadhana. I have done 50 years of sadhana, done such and such, like a worker, I have done school, I have not married, so many, not according to the measure of the sadhana, but by the measure of the soul's sincerity. That is what soul's sincerity in its aspiration. One should say, what you will be voiced from your voice. I am ready to do not what I want, but what the divine wants. That is the great voice. It must come out spontaneously and perfectly, integrally at every point of time. I am ready to do, I am ready to be not what I want, but I must be what the divine wants me to do. If this voice is there, so you can remember something is done. Next, we can try to cite few quotes from Mother's quotings, Mother quotes. Sincerity is the key of the divine doors. Already we have seen in Sri Aurobindo's vision, we have seen if you are sincere, knocking at the divine's gate sincerely, it is bound to open. It is bound to open. So, Sri Aurobindo put it is, you have to knock it at there. And Mother quotes, if it is locked, then sincerity is the key to the key of the divine door. With the key you can open the lock. Here also the key is the sincerity. In order to be always near me, really near me always, Mother of course, and effectively, you must become more and more sincere, open and frank towards me. Very interesting. मेरा पास आने का वही एक ही तरीका है. व्हाट यू हैव टू डू? मोर एंड मोर सिंसियर, सेकेंड ओपन, थर्ड फ्रैंक. ये तीनों चीज का जरूरत है. थ्री आर एब्सोल्यूट नेसेसरी to reach me, to become to me. Again, Mother quotes, as long as there is within the being the possibility of inner conflict, it means there is still in him some insincerity. अगर आपका पास inner conflict है, if you have got some inner conflict, then naturally you will find there is something insincerity in you. That is what the requirement you can measure up and you can see. And again, few only a couple of things, very good quotations from Sri Aurobindo is there. It has been witnessed, very interesting. I think it will give you a much pleasure and it will be helpful in your yoga. Sri Aurobindo quotes on sincerity. Whatever one wants sincerely and persistently from the divine is sure to give. We thought of, we have discussed on something like, locking the door key and some opening of the door, so and so. But here Sri Aurobindo goes forward with a little bit confidence, and Sri Aurobindo tries to quote here beautifully, now whatever one wants sincerely and persistently from the divine, sincerely and persistently from the divine, and the divine is sure to give. There is no other go. One who when one aspires with sincerity, aspiration, sincere aspiration, The strength is given that ends by surmounting the difficulties and reaching the goal. That strength is given to you to surmount all the difficulties and reaching the goal. If you have a sincere aspiration, Sri Aurobindo quotes, to the spiritual change in your heart and soul. Spiritual change in your heart and soul. If for that, if you have got sincere aspiration, then you will find the way and the guide. They are there to guide, and the path is ultimately sure they will guide you. Thank you.